Hi everyone, this is Michael Connon representing the TooMedToo Star Wars Network. We've got your fix, and this is brought to you by our patrons. If you want to join the Patreon page, go to patreon.com backslash, what the hell am I talking about? I'm not building anything. Just go to Patreon and put in TooMedToo, man. I don't even know right now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just ready for some Mandalorian. So yeah, well, I'm not even going to talk about shit. Let's just get into it. And we need to do this guy, share screen. Oh, we're not sharing screen. We're doing a self watch. You're just going to watch me watch. And I'm going to let you know when to start your thing up. Because that's how we got to do it tonight. So, anyways, yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, we're just going to watch and we'll talk about it later. So here we go. Chapter 7. I am going to skip through all of the rewatch. We're at, what, a minute 7. We got the Lucasfilm logo. I think now we get the droids, right? We get the... Yeah, we got the droids coming in. And then right before it's ready to go, I'm going to stop it, make sure everybody's on the same page, and we are ready to go. We know Dale's always jumping the gun. I can't frickin' talk today, man. Okay, so we are starting at 1:30. All right, so everybody make sure you're at the 1:30 mark, and let's go, people. Kyler, we're at the 2:20 mark.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to 220 on the show or 220 on the counter.
2:20. Oh damn.
I'm at 220. Do I hit play?
We're at 2:40 now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're going to be very upset that you're late. Dude, everybody's wrong. Everybody said no way Cara Dune's going. She's staying on the planet. Boba Fett got some new armor. This other guy looking good too. So we're gonna get Black Series or Funko Pops with Boba Fett's old armor and new armor now. He is all fucking decked out. Who made his armor?
Oh, shit. This armor is sweet.
Yeah, the Believer.
this kid. Little green guy? Yeah. Little green guy. So.
The little green guy.
It's not nice. And what's in it for me? Is it that I can't get those coordinates unless I have access to an internal Imperial terminal.
Kyle, I'm getting a lot of sound coming through on your end.
I'll fix it.
Mhm. Bam, 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 bam. I'd like to do the bam bam with her. Well, we got a bunch of new Black Series and Mando or Black Series figures coming out, or Funko Pops. Yeah, Nedic, I saw your post today. Looking good, but not so much anymore. Well, we might still add people. All right, man. Stop back. We'll be here. I just lost sound for a second. I got really scared. I didn't know what happened. True that. Oh, damn. Yeah, ours is all working really well. Nice shot. Nice shot. Oops. He's whooping some ass.
Looks like Mando's whipping some SJW ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Those must be the guys who hate on the slave Leia outfit.
They just keep coming.
It's a lot of thermals.
Gotta love them ties coming in. Not yet. Oh, damn. He's going to take off his helmet in front of all these imps just for the kid.
transport. My designation is transport co-pilot. What's your key? Practitioner, please. My commanding officer, TK-593. Imperial Combat Assault Transport is transported.
Ooh, brown eyes. Oh, damn. pew. Pew, pew, pew. Dude, there comes Boba Fett. Boom. Seismic charges, baby. What is the next move? Kylo, don't talk about my wife like that, please. Well, damn. All right. So, as far as I can tell, not really what anybody once again was expecting. They were expecting it to be a big jailbreak. Who was going to do the jailbreak? How it was going to get done? Not a lot of people thought Cara Dune was going to be part of it. They thought she was just going to, drop the information on where she was or where he was, and the team, whoever the team was that he put together, was going to go get Mayfield. And it really wasn't like that at all. I'm going to post this again really quick for everybody to stop in here. Bam. All right. So, yeah, it was a little bit, I don't think not what we're expecting for most people. I think a lot of us that were talking about it thought we were going to get the prison break was going to be the big thing, and it really wasn't. It was kind of just walking in and saying, "Hey, give me this guy. I'm in charge," and whatever goes goes, and that's pretty much what happened. Waiting for Gannon and Kylo to come back in if they are still awake. All right, dude. Yeah, I was just talking about how not really at all what anybody I think was expecting out of this episode.
Not even close.
And I'm not even talking about from myself from a personal level. And I was saying that the majority of the people thought that it was going to be a jailbreak, putting the gang together for a jailbreak, and that was going to be the main part of the episode. And then the conversation was where what's going to happen on the way to go get Moff Gideon, who's going to come together, and we still don't know.
We don't know.
But all right, really quick, the notes that I have. It's called The Believer. That is the title. We got Cara Dune, Boba Fett with the new armor, Rhydinium. I'm not sure if we know what that is or not.
Rhydinium, yes, we do.
Okay. The pirates come in.
Not familiar with that species. That might be a new species in Star Wars.
Is this the first episode where Grogu was not in?
This is the first full episode we do not see the child, which was interesting. But it also leaves you wanting more of the child for the finale next week. So I think that was a pretty good decision by Dave to kind of leave him out this episode. They still talk about him, but to not show him, it makes people really want to watch the finale next week. So.
All right, and then we have I'm not sure what that is. They talk about Operation Cinder, Bora Khan. We get some seismic charges.
Yeah, Burning Khan. That's a canon reference, deep cut. We got the seismic charge. We got a direct reference to Operation Cinder, which is another canon deep cut.
You watch your mouth, Patrick. You and that C word
I
again.
know, it's such a terrible word.
The force is strong with you.
That's good. It's good when the force is strong with people. But all right, so let's start at the beginning. Cara Dune starts it off. Not at all what most people were expecting. Most people were expecting she was not going to be involved in this episode. She was just going to be hanging back and going to drop the coordinates of where he was. Oh, I don't want this one.
Yeah, not the case.
Of where Mayfield was. And no, I don't want that one either. How did I erase the entire freaking page? Oh, I didn't. It's just the stream error that I did. I'm just talking to myself right now. I'm trying to figure out where all my windows ended up that I have. I'm trying to move them around now. Technology is so weird sometimes.
I just want to congratulate Kylo for making it to the episode drop time tonight, man. Congrats.
Yes, Kylo, staying up. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it was like 20 seconds behind, but
I did cut him because I kept hearing it. I was getting his feedback coming in, so I cut him off, and then he got mad at me and left. But okay, yeah. So Cara Dune is in there, and she is kicking some ass. Yeah,
I love how she's wearing her new badge as like a belt buckle now. That's pretty dope.
She's pretty dope.
quit talking about my damn wife like that.
We're not going to have this conversation now because you're going to get hurt.
Don't. Oh, you just be careful. You're gonna get canceled again.
It wouldn't be the first time, or be blocked or whatever. But you know, it is what it is.
You're gonna get hijacked again.
All right, so yeah, and Boba Fett's new armor.
No, same armor, new paint job.
Has it been fixed at all? Because it looks like it's been.
The dent is still there on the helmet.
He just repainted it.
He just repainted it. He just put a fresh coat of paint on it. That's all.
Okay,
He's
well,
like, man, the stomach acid did a number on my paint job. Time to repaint.
all right. Well, it's going to be a new Black Series and a new Funko Pop coming out with that.
And it looked like he had some like lower like leg protectors on the backside of his legs. I noticed those were pretty brand new. So that's definitely going to be a Black Series fig for sure. And I noticed he had his old EE3 back again in his hands. So that was kind of cool to see that again.
Just the comments so far we have right now, besides everybody saying hello to each other. Cool episode. Weird to see Pedro without the helmet for so long. Episode was okay, and quotation marks. Looks like Mayfield is dead. The prisoner 6'4" blah, blah, is dead. That was wild to see. The dead man is the only person who's seen him with his helmet off.
Yep. He's technically dead. So does that mean we need to call Mayfeld the Undertaker now?
It's a dead man walking.
And speaking about the EE3, I was very wrong. I totally forgot that Luke cuts Boba Fett's original EE3 in half in Return of the Jedi when they're in the middle of that fight sequence on the little skiffs.
Barge.
Yeah, off the sail barge. So this must be a brand new EE3 he has purchased since. So just want to clear that up, that this is a new blaster.
It could have been just on the Slave One too.
That's what I'm thinking. It was like his backup on Slave One. He's like, man, if something happens to my other one, I got a backup. Which kind of makes me think Boba Fett's just like your average Star Wars collector. He's got like one he takes out of the box and then one he keeps in the box.
Where has Slave One been all this time?
We don't know yet. There's a 5-year canon gap where we do not know where Slave One has been. We last saw it on Tatooine.
Probably still been on Tatooine.
It probably was on Tatooine. It was probably sitting baking in the sun for 5 years, or he had to kill somebody to get it back. I don't know.
Somebody probably put a cloth over it too, and it was referred to as junk by some Tusken Raider. Just like the Falcon was referred to as a piece of junk.
Which, now that we think about it, he has the Tusken Raider stuff on his back when they debuted him in episode 1 of this season. And I think Michael and I had talked about this, that there's a possibility he might have actually been in one of the scenes dressed as a Tusken sitting away from the group. That's still yet to be confirmed that was him, possibly. So maybe the Tuskens are actually protecting his stuff for him. That would make a lot of sense. Like, maybe he cut a deal with them where he's like, hey, can you, like, watch over my ship for me if anything happens? Or maybe he had to cut a deal with the Tuskens to get all of that back after he got swallowed by the Sarlacc, which is probably more likely.
I would think so.
I'm thinking he had to live among them to get his stuff back in some way, shape, or form. And that's how he ends up with the cyclone rifle and the gaffy stick.
I'm here, fellas. I'm just I'm looking for
you're good.
stuff.
Just taking notes.
Taking notes, multitasking, doing lots of things.
All right, so we got Boba Fett. He's got the new paint job. He just took his backup out of the Slave One, Michael.
Okay, and also I didn't mean it was necessarily new armor, but the paint job, and it also looks like it was fixed. It was fixed up, but
maybe it's fixed up in some spots. We got to go back and watch it again and put it side by side.
So I mean, is there some Beskar laying around we don't know about? Not enough to obviously make a new suit.
I don't remember. I don't
to
recall
repair
if
some
Mando
pieces.
took any bars with him, but maybe he has some.
Here's the other thing too. It wasn't made of Beskar. It was made of Durasteel.
That's right. His was made out of Durasteel. That was a canon confirmation. Boba Fett's armor is not Beskar.
And that brings into question why was Mando so because it was Mandalorian armor is not made of Beskar. I mean, is that actually a thing? So that's why he wanted it so much. But that's a conversation for later on.
Canon's a little wacky in terms of that because most Mandalorian armor is Beskar, and it seems like the armor that's handed down from generation to generation within the Mandalorian culture tends to be Beskar. But there have been a few that do have the Durasteel, so it's kind of a weird, tricky spot. So, how are you feeling, Kylo?
I'm exhausted.
I think we all are. It's been a long night.
Yeah, I took a nap. I was talking to you guys earlier, and I took a nap for an hour or two, like after I got home from work, and hung out with the wife for a little while, for like an hour. I was supposed to take a nap for about 2 hours, and after about 20 minutes, she's like, "Aren't you going to take? I thought you were going to sleep. Why are you on the phone?" I was like, "Because I just found out about all this stuff that came out on Disney Plus." Well, it's the call, but I don't want to get sidetracked, but that's kind of what happened. So my nap got very, very short because I was looking at all that.
What's next, Mike?
Next, Rhydonium.
So Rhydonium was in that one episode, or that arc of the Clone Wars with Meeber Gascon, where they go to that one planet they called the Void.
Okay, yes,
that was
yes.
Abafar. And that's the planet where they meet Clone Commander Gregor, and they remind him that he's a clone commando because he basically has amnesia and doesn't remember that he was even a clone in the first place. And then they think he's sacrificed, and then later on we find out he's actually still alive. But they end up finding that at one Jedi cruiser that was full of Rhydonium, and later on R2 ends up being the one that saves them because it was basically going to be a kamikaze giant bomb to destroy a Republic conference. And R2 activates it early, it explodes, still does a lot of damage, but it saves everybody's lives. So there's your canon tie into Rhydonium. And spoiler alert if you haven't watched Clone Wars, sorry. If you haven't watched Clone Wars by now, that's on you.
Yeah, I mean, at least the first 6 seasons. They've been over for quite a while.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next?
The pirates.
Yeah, new species of pirates. That's kind of cool. And I like how their little floating platforms have like a little, almost like tiny pod racer engine.
And why are the pirates trying to blow up the Rhydonium instead of stealing it?
They don't tell us, but I'm assuming I think Mayfeld hinted at it in the episode that the locals generally just don't They have disdain for, it doesn't matter if it's New
Anybody,
Republic or
yeah.
Empire, just anybody who is going to try to control their ways. So I think these guys are just trying to scare off the Empire off their planet.
And we've never seen these guys before.
Not this species, no. As far as unless somebody out there has seen this species somewhere in canon, I don't think we've ever seen it. I think this is a brand new species being introduced, and I'm sure we'll see that up on Databank later today and Wikipedia. And hopefully they'll come back, because that was a pretty cool design. I did like that design.
All right, so then they get the shipment in. And hang on, let's get up with the chat.
Anybody chatting?
Dale, of course.
Hey, Dale, you're awake too?
It's only 12 o'clock for him.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
It was a bit slower, but still had some action and good scenes. It was a little bit slower.
Yeah, I think a lot of people said last week felt a little quick. Pretty fast-paced with that episode. So this is definitely a change of pace, and they're trying to set up to the big finale.
Are we going to call it a filler?
No. Even though it didn't do much in terms of, it was very Mayfeld-centric episode. But, man, this episode gave us little crumbs of a lot of stuff.
And once again, going into, it doesn't matter who's in charge. I've had this conversation with people, and they get really pissed. Whether you like Trump or hated Trump, whether you like Biden or hate Biden, not that much really changes. You get a little bit of a change in a couple policies and this and that, and some people get a little extra stuff, some people lose a little bit of extra stuff. The rich keep getting richer. It's all a machine. It depends on what cogs you put in there. They're not going to stop it up. It's not like you got Bernie Sanders in there or some weirdo. I'm going to be canceled because I called Bernie Sanders a weirdo now, which he pretty much kind of is. So it's like, it doesn't really matter who you put in there. One country invades another country to overthrow the government. Guess what? They then take charge. And even when, governments try and rebuild to have other people come in from a different regime or from a regime that they feel for the benefit of the country that invaded, they try and put them in power. It's still, there's always people that aren't happy because it's never, as good. With the one of the exception might be after World War II, maybe Germany, but you had the Ally side and the Russian side and the free side and the communist side. So the communists went in and they're no longer run by Nazis, but now you have the commies in there, and then the free side you have the people that wanted the evil empire in there and still supported the evil empire, and now they're being run by the rebels or the resistance or whatever you want to call it. So no one's ever going to be happy, and you're always going to have things like that happening. Middle East again, Southeast Asia, pretty much anywhere where we take over, or not necessarily we, but anybody takes over and invades.
No one likes feeling like somebody's over top of them, putting a lot of pressure on them. Yeah. It's a common recurring theme in Star Wars, especially if you. It reminded me of an episode of Clone Wars. If I remember correctly, I want to say it was season 1. There was that little that planet that had this the monkey lemur species of people, and they really didn't want the Republic there. They didn't want the Separatists there. They felt like they were being infringed upon, and so I didn't realize until just now. I'm like, wow, that was actually kind of sort of a callback a little bit to that episode of Clone Wars in a lot of ways. The people really just want to be left alone and live their lives the way they want to live their lives. Whether it's for good or bad, it's just going to happen how it's going to happen. And they'd rather not have, an empire or a new republic on their planet.
Oh, I think I figured this out.
What'd you figure out?
Nothing. Nothing important.
So, Kylo, what was your take on the pirates?
I thought they were pretty cool looking.
And I kind of got some like Solo vibes, like when they're on the train sequence. That's how it kind of felt like when Mando gets on top of the transport car and he's trying to defend it. It's kind of like when the Cloud Riders show up to steal the freight.
I think
Instead
Dale
of trying to steal it, they're trying to blow it up.
I think Dale was a minute or two ahead of us as usual.
Always. Dale's always ahead of us. He's always got a theory ready to go.
Well, no, as soon as it starts, he hits play and starts watching it and waits for us to catch up. Unless it's really, really long, then he'll pause it. But he's usually,
I had to pause a couple times, but I was ahead with him for a while there.
Because I come in and then I do the intro or whatever, and I got to switch over and back and forth or whatever, so it takes me an extra minute or two. And we have the Texas Prophet's in here.
What's up?
And he's saying it was a giant car bomb. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's like the sort of vibe I got. Is like, I love how they showed that. The pirates. I was thinking Klaatuinian. Possibly. I don't know. I need to go look at my Wikipedia again. I haven't seen what Klaatuinians look like in a while. We'll check that out after the episode.
Yeah, Brownsville didn't recognize them either. Do you think there's anything to them suggesting the Clone Wars Season 7?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
You have to be a little more specific there, Dale.
Yeah. Once again, a shorter episode. They're giving us a really long runtime, but it's the last 7 minutes. I don't know what the last 7 minutes are. I haven't watched them. It must be all previews or something like that, because there was still quite a few minutes left of the video, and we were done with it.
The credits couldn't have been that long. Do we need to go back and watch that? Or double check that?
I mean, it said 43 minutes, I think, for the playtime, 43 or 47 when I clicked on it.
And it's still so there's 7 minutes remaining?
Dale said it's 30 minutes long. I didn't think it was that short, but Dale says 30 minutes, maybe a little longer. I thought I saw a Dracilian in the Bad Batch, as well as someone I almost thought was Cad Bane, but he was too beefed up.
It was probably just a rather large Duros.
They're definitely different. After the show is over, they suggest something else to watch in regards to that. They suggested for us to watch the Clone Wars.
Oh, is that what Dale was talking about?
I am not sure, but that did come up on mine also.
Yeah, it came up on mine.
So, okay. Pedro takes the helmet off.
Yes. Wow, that was pretty big. We kind of figured it was going to happen somewhere near the end of this season, but we just didn't know when. It was only a matter of time. And when Mayfeld starts asking him the questions of like, why do you keep that on? I was like, yeah, he's going to take it off this episode. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. Thing I noticed, so the computer scanned his face. Does that mean he had Imperial access, or that it just has to scan your face for you to access it?
That was that's what facial scan complete. So it's just, I would guess that you don't need access because there's so many people that are probably coming and going, and
they just need a facial scan in case you're accessing probably private documents you shouldn't be accessing or whatever.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, when they're going in, and they ask them if they have the Imperial codes, and yeah, they're old codes, but they check out. Okay, let them come in. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, well, they probably shouldn't let them in with old codes, but was that a Vader thing, where he was like letting them come in or allowing them to come in, or Is it just that happens so many times that people have old codes that's what we're dealing with now.
I'm thinking, this is weird because we've never seen a facial scan like that in Star Wars that I can recall. Unless somebody can reference an episode of Clone Wars or something. I'm thinking more in line with you there, Michael. I think you don't need a proper Imperial, like you've had your let's say your face scan before to access a terminal. I'm thinking it's a precautionary. It'll scan your face. You can access the system still, but if you start looking for certain documents regarding certain topics, that'll get you possibly like a little flag.
Yeah.
Will go up.
I mean, because that was
the
just
ISB can report that.
That was just where's a ship. Like I don't think they put in where's Moff Gideon specifically trying to find the Moff. They probably looking for. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. It's something that we have to
his face
look into
is
and
in
try
their system now.
and find out. Yep.
And I think Gideon will have access to that now. They're gonna figure out somehow that there was a terminal accessed at the planet, and they're gonna like look in the system and go, who accessed this data regarding our ship? And it's probably going to be Gideon who calls up that information. And when he sees his face scan, I'm wondering how he's going to use that against him. I wonder if he's going to try to turn the Children of the Watch against him because now he's removed his helmet.
So what if he brings to fight Moff Gideon? He brings the Children of the Watch with him to get the child back because he's now a foundling. So they're kind of obligated to help get this foundling back. And then he says, listen, and he's going to say, listen, look at this guy. And they're going to show his face, and they're going to know, oh, my God, what have you done?
Of his face and say, he's broken his word. And that might be one of the cliffhanger things that ends this season, where he's basically at this point going to realize the people who raised him might shun him for the first time ever.
Because we were talking about how this episode was going to be the breakout episode, and they were going to put the crew together then, and that crew that got put together was going to get Mayfield, and then they were going to go on to the next episode to get Gideon, and the crew's already together. They're just going to kind of go from picking up the last piece or whatever, it was going to start off with him going around picking up people to do it, and. Like we said in the beginning, it wasn't the case. Now he's got to put his crew together, whoever it's going to be. So now we get more speculating to do.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'll set up season 3, and they did a really cool thing, and we'll talk about this here in a minute when we get to it. Something later on for the very end of the episode, and I definitely want to come back around to that later.
Well, yeah. So, like I was saying, And, there may have been a few people that had it, but pretty much if you took a consensus, I would say the vast majority, and pretty much everybody I heard are all of our friends. Kylo, you all right, dude?
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's tired.
You're not putting on RFB? You're going to get naked and forget your cameras on?
No, I'm not.
Oh, poor man's going to watch this tomorrow and be like, God damn it, those sons of bitches. I'm never going to live that down.
We love him.
Make world loved again.
I was about to say, what do we say, Kylo?
We say, Mr. LA, we make rural farm boy loved again.
And
even if he is our crazy spotchked up man, we still love him.
And we thought that it was going to be, all right, how's it going to be left off? And, the Jedi's going to show up to, try and save the day. And then, there was a lot of speculating, trying to figure out, what theory we're going to go with. And now it's just kind of like up in the air where now the first half might be trying to put the crew together and who they're going to get. And then the second half of the episode could be, a little bit of a fight or whatever happens, or then the Mandos turn on him. It's like my thumbnail. I did the thumbnail was completely wrong. I put a picture of Jar Jar and Qui-Gon, and I was like, "Who's coming back?" or something like that. I don't even know. I did it in like 2
Can
minutes.
you imagine if like Jedi Jar Jar showed up? He's like, Misa back.
But just because I figured that I didn't necessarily mean it was going to be Jar Jar or Qui-Gon, obviously.
Yeah.
One of them's dead. The other one is just playing as a clown right now.
Yeah, he's a jester at this point in the canon on Naboo. Yeah.
But it was like, okay, who's going to come back? Because it was more of, we got Mayfield coming back. Are we going to get more of that crew together? Are we going to get, Children of the Watch? Are we going to get the other Mandos? Are we going to get Cara Dune and Grief Karga? We don't have Grief Karga. Grief Karga, I don't really think is an action guy anymore. Plus Billy D is kind of old, so for him to be running around doing all that crap might be a little bit much for him.
I noticed these last few episodes, they've really been trying to, like, Mando's been trying to find his people again. They've really been focusing on not really them anymore. He's like kind of like breaking out on his own thing. So does that make you think that maybe because he started asking about them in earlier episodes in the season, maybe the finale's when they come back again? Or do you think he's going to keep going on his own path?
But here's the thing. He found out that what he was taught in his creed was kind of like a lie. And so he's starting to come out of that.
He's just starting to now, yeah.
And, he took off his helmet. He wouldn't take off his helmet for a piece of ass last season. And this season he's taking it off to save some kid. So...
Yeah, and we talked about that one episode where they were... where him and Baby or Grogu, they were like drinking their soup in the Razor Crest, and he lifts his helmet just enough to drink his soup, and you see Grogu look up like underneath his helmet, like so that's what you look like. So they've been hinting it all season that this is what it's coming to. I think you might be right, Michael. This might be where he finally takes off the helmet and he's going mostly helmetless from here on out, unless he has to go in like, a crazy gun scene wherever he needs to protect his head.
I saw something. I'm barely on Twitter anymore. I check it for a couple minutes a day now. So I miss a lot. Patrick sends me a lot of stuff.
Way too much.
We're not nearly enough. Like I was talking to
respond.
Like I was talking to usually. And
sometimes
if I'm not,
I won't see people respond for days.
I mean, I'll like right now. I'm streaming on Live It on my phone also, so I'm doing because of my contract. I can't multi-stream, so I can't do my stream on like right now. This
same stream multiple platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, like right now, this stream that I'm right here off this camera is being done to my Facebook page, my Facebook group, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope, which is being watched through Twitter. I can't use the same feed for that. That is against my contract. So I just have a different feed going. And it's right on me right now. I could turn around and show you guys, but it's weird. Like I can't. I can show you guys right now because it's a raw video. But if I'm showing or playing a recorded video, even if it's mine, they'll cut my stream for copyright. Because it's easier for them to do that than it is for me to go and prove that it's my video or whatever. So they just, if like right now, if this was recorded and tomorrow I'm playing it again, and I was showing it on my stream, they'd cut my stream for it being for copyright infringement. Because it's a lot easier to just do that than it is to ask questions about, well, whose stream is it and do you have permission to use it and blah 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 whatever. But there's things on that. We're working on that, but we'll see. But anyways, all right, let's see. We'll go back to Dale said it's 36 minutes long. Inmate 34667, please follow Marshall Dune. You have 3 seconds to comply with this new directive.
Which I got some vibes at the beginning of the episode there, Mike. When the camera pans down, did that whole beginning feel a little more familiar to you?
I was still trying to get things situated, so although I was watching it barely.
First thing I noticed was this is like an Imperial scrapyard of like TIE fighters and stuff. So the moment I saw any sort of scrapping stuff, I was like, I'm getting some Jedi Fallen Order vibes here.
Okay, I can see that.
And
Maybe.
their like prison suits were kind of like the Scrapper Guild suits too. I did notice there was that sort of like almost shade of color a little bit, that little bit of yellow, or you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, Dale's watching it again. Give us a play-by-play with his rewatch, which is great
Yeah.
because he's probably picking up things that we're missing on. You're going to bring them back to us.
Oh yeah.
Dale, don't yell at me for showing every comment because that's what we do here. Did it go on record before the planet was destroyed?
What on record?
I'm gonna guess his face, and the planet was
Oh,
destroyed.
his face.
The planet wasn't
He
destroyed.
had to have his face to access it, so his face is in the database now. It's on the Imperial net of some variety. It's got to be accessible, and so those are accessed by, we now know, Imperial terminals only.
Mel, thank you for all the welcome to Livets. Okay. Oh, for a second I thought you were the other guy. That was funny. And because then he comes walking down. And, dude, I still got to say, that freaking armor is awesome. Brand new paint job. I mean, all right,
That was dope, yeah. He walked down and went, ooh, new toy.
that's the best we've ever seen the armor.
That is literally the best we've seen the armor since Jango Fett, really, when you think about it. Because Jango Fett had really clean armor too, so like father, like son, Star Wars there.
All right, then we got Dim coming down the ramp. Oh crap! And then we have Dutch Vanderlind. I am presently surprised that they mentioned Operation Cinder in this episode.
Me too. That's the first in live action official moment about Operation Cinder in live action. So that was huge. They're referencing something from a video game, from the deeper canon and the books and comics. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I mean that was pretty awesome. And I know I've been saying I got to make time for reading. I'm almost done with Thrawn. Which if you guys know before, when I was working before COVID, I would be listening to 10 or 12 podcasts a day. If a book came out, I'd have the book finished in one day. And now I'm just so busy with multiple things that I don't have time to put things in my ears like I used to do, like this, and just listen. Or I'm multitasking and streaming while I'm taking the dog for a walk and everything. But I'm getting it done. I'm hopefully I'll have Thrawn done this weekend. In between things, then I still have I haven't even touched a certain point of view yet. But that I want to sit down actually.
Yeah.
Then I want to sit down and go by chapter by. It's 4:15 a.m. Then I want to sit down and go chapter by chapter, and do.
So Mike, let's talk about the discussion with Mayfeld's former officer guy there.
Okay.
So we got the Burning Con reference, we got the Cinder reference, talking about he eliminated his own and basically his entire platoon during Operation Cinder, which is like very Imperial thing to do. And if you guys have played the Cinder missions in Battlefront 2, that's basically similar to what happened there. All the civilians and a bunch of the Imperials got left planet side, and they just kind of let Cinder play out and watch the planets, get wiped. Just crazy to think about that a bunch of, Moffs and Admirals and stuff like that are basically sending their guys to their own deaths just to keep their future empire, in check. So, that was pretty crazy. And then I like how this guy is like, he's still very passionate about long live the Empire and all that stuff, and how ultimately this guy's basically the embodiment of everything you've ever like read about the Empire. Like I noticed it a lot in more recent canon material. They've really put more focus on these like people who joined up on the Empire, and then they realized they joined up for all the wrong reasons, and that they really feel like they belong more to towards what the rebels believe in, and that there's people kind of sacrificed along the way, whether they were, all for the Empire or not. There's a bunch of people who get caught up in that, and that's pretty much what this guy does. He's a power hungry dude, and he'll do anything what his superiors tell him to do.
Yeah, and I mean that goes into one of the big things on Star Wars has always been about politics. Star Wars has always been about psychology. Star Wars has always been about some type of religion, or what the the Jedi religion is based off of.
So he gets killed. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the episode, this guy gets killed. Mayfeld gets pissed off with him and just shoots him. And then I love that reaction where he like looks over at the shore trooper. He's just kind of like, "Did you just see that?" And then that's when the gun battle ensues from there.
Yep. And yeah, I mean that's once again that's like real life shit. I'm sorry if you were sitting in front of someone that killed all of your friends. Or whether or not you're friends or not, you're together in the army or whatever you want to call it. You got each other's back. You have this camaraderie. It's much more than just being canceled on a different level or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit.
Speaking about the camaraderie, I want to talk about that real fast. So when they come into the base in the transport after they just survived the pirate attack, the first thing I thought of when all the Imperials come up in uniform and they're like, "Yay!" celebrating that they just got their Rhydonium. That whole sequence was shot, and it was so funny. It reminded me of like when Luke and everybody comes back from destroying the first Death Star, and the rebels are all celebrating. Except this is the Imperial version of that.
Yep.
I thought that was so funny.
I mean, listen,
it's good to show that those guys are close together. They've survived this far after the end of what we considered most of the Empire at the Battle of Jakku. This is what's left, so they're getting closer.
And I mean, Mayfield says something profound. If you're born on Mandalore, you believe one thing. If you're born on Alderaan, you believe another thing.
Yep.
I mean, Alderaan was a peaceful planet, but Mandalore was the complete opposite. But still, where are they now? They're both gone. Like name, since the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages, someplace that's still around. Yeah, you have, like, you could say China, but it's changed quite a bit from, the imperial rule, that they had there. It's China's still there, but I don't think you could recognize China 500 years ago from China now. Most places couldn't. And we're talking about in the Star Wars universe, we're talking about tens of thousands of years. I mean, look at, and, I'm just going to bring this up because it's the latest thing that I read, and, Thrawn Ascendancy, spoiler again for, everybody knows that there's spoilers here, man. I don't know why, but we just keep saying it because we're trying to be nice for any of the new people. Thrawn's trying to figure out if two groups had communication with each other or anything 20 or 30,000 years earlier. So it's like, you're talking about, like, these are places and lands that have been, like, longer than we've been civilized. They've in this story, they have people that have been together for that, and, space bearing or whatever. So, I don't even know what I'm rambling on about right now. It's 4:00 in the morning. Although I am going to say right now, last week, man, I went I did the show and then had to go to work, so I didn't sleep. And then I came home. I took a nap for about an hour, and then I got it on streamed, and I streamed until 6:30 in the morning on Live It. I took a nap for an hour, and then got up and did a 24-hour marathon to raise money for UNICEF in the Philippines. I did 24 hours. It's actually been over 24 hours. It was like 25 or 26 hours. So I didn't sleep for 3 days. That's not true. I say I didn't sleep for 3 days, and then I'm like, yeah, you did. I'm like, okay, I took 2 1-hour naps, and then like 2 maybe like half-hour naps. And I can't even say I took those naps. Like I laid down for that long. How long I was asleep for, I don't know. But yeah, so I slept 3 hours, and it was like I was like a freaking doctor on doctor's hours, where I have an hour to sleep out of these 24, so I'm going to lay down right now and sleep for a couple minutes. And but it was good. I mean, we raised some money, and that's a good thing. But yeah, anyways, getting back to this, I don't even know where I'm going.
So we had the big gun battle. That's where we were at.
Yep, big gun battle. We blow up some Rhydonium.
We got some Fennec Shand and Cara Dune team up there, sniper team. I really like that sequence.
Yeah, just real quick. I don't know what Kylo's like. Thanks for having me on, guys. Dude, he's part of this channel, so it's like.
Yeah, Kylo, come on, man.
It's. I mean,
there would be. Set it off. Okay.
Yeah, he left. There wouldn't be a septic tank without him. We do collecting with Kylo, which the last few have been just me doing them, and I've been holding off on a lot. I have so much stuff to do collecting with Kylo. It's just he was under a weather. He's getting better now, so under all weather. Yeah, I've been able to talk all night, man. Maybe it's the lack of sleep or needing to sleep, or
we need to get Mike to bed, so we're gonna keep rolling.
No, there is no sleep.
But yeah, we got the team up, Cara Dune and
Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand, yeah, sniper team. This whole sequence reminded me of like some missions you play in like the Call of Duty games, where you're like running through a village, and then you got like those 2 NPCs that are like sitting up on the hill. They're like, "We're spotting you. We'll take these guys out with our sniper rifles."
I need someone to put a Santa hat on my TooMedToo logo here.
Yes, if you get a chance, stick a Santa hat up there and Photoshop it on there and send it to Mike so they can put that up for December.
Yeah. Patrick, I'm going to tell you what I did for Live It too. I'm freaking such an awesome dude.
Check it out.
Let's see. Jedi Fallen Order was a nice reference.
Yeah, tiny little scrapper reference in there. Which, oh my gosh, if Cal Kestis shows up at the end of the season, if he's the one that Grogu talks to, could you imagine? Like, they'd be like, "Oh, by the way, remember that episode last week with Mayfeld? Yeah, we just threw a little scrapper reference in there for you guys."
I mean, it could be. I think they're not going to go with Luke.
I think Luke's way too obvious.
There's too much explaining to do with Luke.
Especially if it's not like the Luke we saw at the end of Return of the Jedi, even though it's only been 5 years.
Yeah, and a Yoda species, and we didn't hear about him training, and we haven't heard. Yes, I know there's a bunch of stuff we haven't heard about, but you would think that they wouldn't forget about when he's sitting there talking with Baby Yoda, or talking with Yoda, that, he... Like, I mean, it's just, like, I just don't... I don't think Luke even being the obvious choice would just... There's so much that we've gotten from Star Wars that we would have found out something about Grogu right now. Like, if Luke does show up, I will be really surprised. Like, that is the obvious choice, but because there's so many things then that need to be explained on why we are just fighting about this now. Yes, we don't know about anything, but from what we do know, why don't we know anything about this? That's been in there. And yes, they can be holding it because they want to keep it a secret, but yep. I don't think it's going to be Luke. We're supposed to think it's going to be Luke. I was saying, what if it was Ahsoka? What if Ahsoka's the one he reached out to?
Could you imagine if she's the one that said, "Place Grogu on the Seeing Stone, and he'll see his future," and then maybe a Jedi will appear, and then she's just like, "Surprise! It was me all along."
Yeah, that would be pretty freaking insane. But
be a little nuts, but yeah, that'd be funny. It'd be the ultimate prank.
And we also don't know if she's a Jedi or not, or considers herself a Jedi.
Come on, Dave by this point. He's like basically left it canon as like, "I'm no Jedi." Quotation marks.
We could go
She's
either
in a
way.
weird spot right now.
Yeah.
She's like
Yeah.
light gray, but she's not a Jedi, but she's not completely gray.
Well, because there's no gray Jedi.
There's no such thing as gray Jedi in the canon. You're right. There's like this weird thing which I think
you can be a Force user. She can be a Force user, but she can't. She either has to be a Jedi or not a Jedi, because Jedi is kind of like the Mandalorian. It's it's a creed you follow. It's a religion that you follow. You can't just be kind of the religion. Like you can't be kind of Baptist. You're either Baptist or you're not.
Baptist or you're not.
You're either Catholic or you're not. You're either a Jehovah's Witness or you're not. I don't know if they're allowed to watch YouTube, so they won't even know that I said that. Are they? I don't know. Are there any Jehovah's in here? I don't even know. What do you call a Jehovah?
I knew somebody who did. Yeah, they do watch YouTube.
I mean, what if it was on? But they're not allowed to watch it on their birthday because it doesn't exist. I don't know. Start the hate again for me, everybody. Let's go.
Here we go. Mike getting canceled, part 7
of the show, and yeah, let's. Well, at least they won't knock on my door anymore.
Yeah,
because they hate me.
But we're talking about possible things. I know the idea has been floated around. It could be Ezra, maybe, because the Ahsoka ties, maybe.
It's funny how when
this is the weird one out there that everybody's still thinking.
It's funny how if Pappas and I are recording, that I'm the one that gets the show going and keeps it going along, because Pappas goes off on these things, and when you and I are recording, you're the one that keeps me going. Oh, dude, I so wish Pappas would have stayed awake. He said it. He did he's doing a show. Everybody go follow Scumbag and Villainy on YouTube. I don't have it hooked up here on the link, but I probably should on my follows. It's
DM Pappas and ask him why he wasn't here. That'll get him set straight, so he'll be here for the finale next week.
Well, he was gonna try. He was really trying, but a lot of people listen.
Come on, Pappas, do better.
You don't even show up half the time, so you're.
I know, because I fall asleep.
You're the Pappas of the show.
So if you guys don't know the reference, Mike's been giving me a lot of crap here on the show, because I will literally try to stay up after work Thursday night going into Friday, and if you don't know, it's because. We both live in Eastern time zone, so the episodes drop at 3 a.m. in the morning, so it's very hard for the both of us to stay up unless we either catch a nap or drink something caffeinated. So I've always been messaging back and forth with Mike between 11 p.m. and basically 2:30 in the morning, and I'll be like, "Yo, Mike, what's up?" And then he'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then I'll be like, "I'm staying up." And then of course the question now is, Mike asked me is, are you really staying up?
Because at 10 minutes to 3, I'll be like, all right, man, 10 more minutes before it goes, and I'll be like, okay, I'm come on StreamYard and we'll talk for a couple minutes before it starts. Nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's taking a poop or something before it starts. Nope, he's asleep. And then I'll get a message at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm still on, and he's like,
damn it, I fell asleep.
Yeah, and Pappas is known for not showing up for his own podcast when he had a podcast, the Rogue One.
I blame my pillow and my blankets. I get so comfortable, man. I just get that one really good position in my bed.
Dude, if I was laying in bed waiting for this to start, I probably wouldn't be able to do it.
I got to sit in an uncomfortable chair or something next season.
I mean, this chair is comfortable. But for the amount of money I paid for it, my ass shouldn't be hurting. I have been sitting there for 3.5 hours without moving. I did get up once, but yeah, I need
This
better.
is the part where everybody goes to Patreon, and you support TooMedToo here, and we can help him fund his butt cushion.
Yeah, I need some butt cushion so go to my Patreon page. It's right in the show notes. You can just click on it and get right to it. You can just make a one-time donation. Or you can, give a little bit every month and, help out for this amazing, great content you're getting. All right, so let's go to...
Tonight's stream is sponsored by caffeine. Thank you.
And this all got started because of Dale. We blame Dale for this.
Thanks, Dale.
What's Mayfield going to do? He's just left on the planet.
Mayfield just made the choice to confront his past. Mayfield's going to be a good guy.
Yep,
I'm calling it now. He's gonna be part of. I don't know if he's gonna be a part of the team. It seems like they've left him on this planet, so I don't think he's gonna be back for the rest of the season. Bill Burr is coming back. He's a fan favorite now, and I don't know what he's going to do, Mike. You think he's coming back in like the finale for the entire show? And we just got this confirmed today. The other two shows, the Ahsoka show and now this New Republic show, are going to take place during this timeline in with the Mandalorian. They're all going to be consecutively running together, and they're going to have a collective mass event together, all three of these shows.
Oh, and I would like to, while you're on that, I would like to say a massive fuck you to Google, because I turn on my phone and I see my messages and shit, and I get like, oh my god, this headline, this is great. Oh, we got this covered. Dude, come on. Like, Mike Zero, we got this covered. I don't know how this shit gets on there, and it gets me excited because, you know, Cara Dune's canceled. She's not canceled. Disney, the last
She's
thing.
not canceled.
Well, no, the last thing I saw, we got this covered, which is basically we got so much bullshit we should, you know, just end our lives. Not that people, not that people personally. I have nothing against people personally. I mean, although they probably are pieces of shit, they're just doing what they gotta do for money. You know,
clickbait dollars.
Yeah, they're like, you know, Morton Downey Jr. is probably a nice guy, but in real life, I mean, he probably really wasn't. I don't know what am I saying, but his show was scummy. But it was fun to watch. It was entertaining. But people knew it was not true. You get something on Google, and you know, you read the headline, and you think it's true, and like the one today was that she is not going to be, that she's getting canceled unless she apologizes, was the article, and I was just like, dude, come on. But anyways, all right, let's get back to what Dale, before Dale sidetracks me more.
Maybe even some music or something like that. Kick that part off. Yeah, and then the planet was very like tropical trees, which reminded me of the Kashyyyk level with the AT-AT walkers from Jedi Fallen Order there a little bit too. So, dude, if Cal Kestis does show up, if he's the one that Grogu was talking to, yeah, they're kind of setting that sort of vibe up a little bit, you know. I guess we gotta wait and see. And man, dude, if Cameron Monaghan shows up on my screen next week, I'm gonna be one happy dude.
And Dale misspoke, Dale misspoke, whatever, typing. Dale misspoke. He was trying to say vibes, not fives. And then we got Chuck
Rest in
Speed
peace,
saying,
Fives. Yeah, Fives is the one who tried to warn everybody. I was saying Ahsoka decided she was wrong about training him, that Grogu might end up worse off without the training. It's a weird situation because from Ahsoka's perspective, she's literally seen the guy that trained her make some bad choices and letting his emotions get the better of him. And we're talking about supposedly during that point in the timeline, and probably still is to this day, I'm pretty sure, he had the highest midichlorian count. He was the most powerful Force user we knew up to that point. Which is crazy to think. Like Darth Vader is truly an absolute beast in every sense of the word. Once he becomes a Sith Lord, and then ultimately, what becomes Vader's downfall is not because of how strong he is; it's because of his son. And now he's got an emotional attachment to this random guy who, you know, confronts him, and they have this moment in, you know, Empire Strikes Back where he tells Luke, "Yeah, you're my son," which we later find out in the canon now. Boba Fett is the one who tells him he has a son in the first place.
Yep.
Which that's another crazy tie-in now, because now we got Boba Fett and Mandalorian, and he's got ties to the Skywalkers now. So it's like, ooh, now we're really digging deep. So now we got like a Boba Fett, Anakin, Darth Vader, and Ahsoka sort of concentric circle going here.
And I was talking about Thrawn, and Pete says, "Yeah, you forgot about Thrawn. He hopes that he shows up in the finale or something."
We're not sure now because they just announced that new Ahsoka show today, so he might not even show up in the show at all.
And are we going to have...
He could show up in the climactic movie or event or whatever they're talking about, where it's all going to come together.
Yeah, and are we going to have... this is going to fill it in because we don't know the time jump between the end of Rebels in the season finale to the very end of it where they leave.
Yeah, because we thought that was it, and that what we saw of Ahsoka was, hey, this is all after Rebels, yeah. And then Dave Filoni comes out and goes, hold on, not so fast, guys. We all go, wait, what?
Yeah, and now is he, and that brings it to, has this happened yet in Rebels, or does Rebels take place after this?
This is
Did
weird
did
because
did it take place? Did they go off looking for Thrawn, and they've already come back? And whether it be a few days, months, weeks, whatever it was, was it really only 3 years after? Everybody thought it was 5. So we don't have a timeline yet, and we're probably going to get a timeline soon. I don't know. I'm talking like this and playing with my little ball.
I'm with you, Mike. I'm thinking within the next, I think next year around season 3, I think we'll have it. We'll have a known timeline of those things.
Well,
I don't know. They might leave it a mystery. They leave a lot of mysteries in Star Wars to keep us scratching our heads.
we have a few books coming out.
We have several books coming out.
Well, no, I didn't mean those books. I meant pertain to Mandalorian. We have the novelization coming out next year.
Yeah, way next year. It's like November of next year.
We have the second edition. So I got the first edition of I do have. I was going to say not this, but I do. Yeah, I do have this. This guy right here, the Mandalorian.
Which I still need to get that. That is a beautiful cover.
We got this right here.
And that's just season 1, correct?
Yeah, this is the Art of Mandalorian. It's only season 1. I still haven't gone to do my.
So season 2 should be out by next Christmas. It'll be a wonderful gift to put under your tree there, Mike.
Yes, you can go ahead and get it for me. But
I want to see all the concept art designs for Cobb Vanth next December. That's going to be beautiful.
But there was the other book, the Book of Art or something. I have that around here too somewhere.
Yeah, you were showing me that. It's not the Art of. It's a different one.
And then Volume 2 comes out, which will be of this season. I'm gonna guess. I think everything comes out between now and July-ish, the first half of the year. Some of it does. Some things are. I shouldn't say that because some of the things are coming out right at the start of next year for next season.
And I forget when is the visual dictionary?
I do not recall.
I think I remember seeing that. It's either May or June. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat.
I thought it was July. I thought it was July 7th. It's sticking in my head.
Maybe it is July. Maybe you're right there.
Minute,
it was a little later.
I got sidetracked. I clicked on my Amazon to check it, and then I was like, oh, let's go see my affiliate links here. But I should probably do that on my own time.
Mike's going to get us all to pre-order books ahead of time.
I really wish you guys would. Every dollar for that $50 book helps. Let's see. What do I have recently ordered? Okay, The Mandalorian, the Art and Imagery Collector's Edition. That comes out January 26th. So that's the second part of that one. And that's more of actual photos of...
not so much concept art.
Yeah. And then we don't have a date yet for delivery, but the Star Wars Archives 1977 through 1983 40th Anniversary Edition.
So they're dropping a new version of that book.
Yeah, I have that big book behind me, which I'm going to someday get through.
I have not bought either of the books because they're so expensive.
Well, this one here, this is like an abridged version. It's only $24.50. And then April 27th, we have Galaxy's Edge, the Art of Star Wars Galaxy Edge coming out.
All right, I forgot about that. Yes, that is coming. That's the day after my birthday, so maybe I'll ask my family to get that for me.
We don't have a date yet, but we have the Star Wars Archives 1999 to 2005. That's going to be the prequels, but that is kind of a hefty price on the book.
That's a very hefty price.
$150 for that book.
That better be a hefty book.
Oh, I can tell you the other one is the other one.
4 through 6
ruined my chair. I threw it on the chair and it ripped it.
It was that heavy, huh?
Yeah. So, yeah, we won't even talk about that now. Not that she watches this shit anyways. Not that my show is shit, but, it's just an expression, people. And
all right.
I just canceled myself. I'm trying to find...
well, Mike's getting you guys affiliate links and whatnot. We're going to keep talking about the episode.
Oh, I'm not even looking for affiliate links right now. I'm looking for the Mando book.
So while he's figuring out that date, we're going to talk about. We had those cannons on top of the roof of the complex, Mike.
July 6th is the date.
Which I had a fan moment with those cannons on the roof. Everybody looks at them, they're like, "Oh, what are those rinky-dink guns on the roof of that place?" What they actually are, they're based off of anti-aircraft guns that you would find on like U.S. Navy ships. They had the scope placements, double seats on both sides, and how it worked in the old days. And I'm sure it's probably similar in Star Wars. Is one person on one side would crank the turret left or right, and then the other seat would crank the angle of the gun up and down.
Yep.
And I've actually sat in one of those before. If you guys get the chance to go on an actual battleship or any sort of Navy vessel, and they have that as an option where you can like sit down at the gun emplacement, do it with like a friend or a sibling or family member, because that is a fun experience being able to turn that gun or angle the gun. And I thought it was kind of cool. They had like those like the Death Star sort of like technicians arming that position. So that was kind of cool to see them, that concept of a character back. But instead of firing a giant Death Star, they're firing little artillery pieces, or for anti personnel.
Or maybe at Star Wars Celebration next year when Patrick and I are hanging out together.
Not next year, 2022, sir.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Well,
It's like over a year and a half away. It's August of 2022.
well, the world is still being canceled for most of the year next year, so
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of 2021's canceled at this point. So we'll reconvene and we'll start over in 2022, guys. It's all good.
So maybe Patrick and I will be sitting in one of those turret guns. We'll have a celebration.
Mike and I are going to split a funnel cake. Absolutely.
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
You've never had funnel cake.
Oh, I have had funnel cake. I don't know. I would split one, get your own, you son of a bitch.
All right, I'll buy Mike's and he'll buy mine. There we go.
Likely they will kill Gideon, and there will be a scene of.
Can you imagine the cliffhanger if they manage to kill Gideon, and that Giancarlo has been lying to us this entire time in these articles? Because I'm going to tell you guys, this is a little bit of a spoiler. Giancarlo has been putting this idea out in the ether in the press lately that Moff Gideon has a very long story. His story has not been told yet, and that he will be returning for a season 3 and a season 4 of The Mandalorian. Yep. That all, however, like you just said, that could all be a lie, and that maybe he actually does get killed off at the end of this season.
And I mean, I think they might leave him because he's the big bad guy, and then it could be.
And I remember the response to Snoke was not good when they didn't give much of a backstory to him, and then they killed him. You think they would really make that same mistake again, Mike?
I don't think it would be a mistake because Snoke was this Force user. I think it's two completely different subjects. You have one who's just an army guy who that we have questions about. Is he Force sensitive?
We don't. There's a lot we don't know about him.
Obviously, he's been around. Is he working for Palpatine? Is he working for himself? These are all things that aren't really that big of a deal. And once again, we didn't know about the Emperor. We didn't know anything about the Emperor. Vader was the bad guy. So.
And there's another thing in this episode, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. Mike and I have been really theorizing that Moff Gideon, in a lot of ways, is like the General Grievous of the show. There's a lot of little tiny hints peppered in throughout The Mandalorian that Gideon's like this Grievous type Imperial. He's got the cape like Grievous, or a similar cape like Grievous. He's got a really bad disposition to literally having his own men killed. He will kill them himself, like Grievous did with his droids. And there's a thing at the end of this episode. I'm trying to remember, what was it? It'll come back to me, Mike.
But with what you're saying right there, He might have been trained in the Jedi arts. He might not be force sensitive. I mean, they
That's
could
what I'm
say
thinking.
he's not force sensitive, but he's been trained in the Jedi arts, so he understands, about the Jedi. And
And
if
who do you think trained him? That's what I want to know. If he is, trained well with a blade, was that like something he just learned as an Imperial, or did he literally have somebody train him, like say a Vader type?
I mean, he could have been around. I mean, during the Clone Wars, he could have been
That's
being
true.
trained
His
also.
age is pretty up
Um,
there. He's still younger than Tarkin, and Tarkin really wasn't that young even in the Clone Wars. So you got a good point. He was probably some sort of Republic junior officer or something, and that might be something they tie into the Bad Batch, because the Bad Batch is starting to explore that territory where
yep.
they crossed over into the Imperial era. So maybe you might see Gideon show up in that show.
Everything from now on and everything that's coming out that Filoni has his hands and they're all
connected,
they're
baby.
all intertwined. There's
All
going to be
connected.
something with that has to do with the other one. You don't have to watch this other show, but it's sure going to make the show you're watching right now better.
Everything is going to make everything else better. We are living the Star Wars dream.
Yeah, pretty much agree there. I think Thrawn's going to be Ahsoka's show.
I'm thinking you're right there, Dale. The moment they even brought it up with Thrawn thing, we're thinking, oh, maybe that's Mandalorian. But today, when they announced the Ahsoka show, that was pretty much just about the little bit there that's like, yeah, they're probably going to save that for the Ahsoka show. But I would not be against if they make a cameo with Thrawn at some point, either by the end of the season or early on in season 3. Do a quick little cameo just to tie the two shows together.
I mean, we have, I forget what it said. We have 10 or 15 live action Star Wars shows coming out, like 10 live action shows in the next 3
No,
or
they're
4
not
years.
live action, just 10 shows total. We got live, we got anime, we got animated, and between the live, it's Disney Plus original content and actual in-theater stuff.
Okay.
So there's enough across the entire range, and I imagine with that much content, imagine the amount of books and comics that are coming with that, guys. It's going to be intense.
TooMed's got this covered. We have 5,000 TV shows coming out on Star Wars Disney Plus.
Every day you'll be able to tune in and watch Mike literally read pages of the newest Ahsoka book.
Yes, because there's going to be 27 that come out.
Can you imagine that we're going to have there's going to be entire people at their houses. They're going to have an entire bookshelf just dedicated to the Ahsoka series. It's going to be great.
Definitely would be great to see. Well, what does that spoiler for Ahsoka? I mean, who even knows where the Ahsoka show is going to be? It could be
Filoni
what
is a closed book, man. He's not letting anything out.
It could be what happened after, the Clone Wars. So it could be what happened in between, the last episode of season 7 that we just got, and what happened now. It could span all those years. It could just span a couple of years. There could be a time jump in there.
Yeah, can you imagine, the whole thing with, Ezra going to the world between worlds? Could you imagine if they pulled, a Back to the Future, where all of a sudden they, go into the world between worlds, and, Ahsoka looks through a portal and goes, I found Ezra. He's back in the High Republic. He's in that Acolyte show. It's like, how did he get here? We don't know.
That would be funny. I think that would have to be more of a cartoon, though, than live action.
Dude, if they do that, they'd lose everybody in the fan base.
Dale's going to be like, why do you show everything? I don't show everything, but Dale's getting coffee.
Hey,
Dale,
we're not staying up all night. We're going to hit the bed here pretty soon, probably.
Yeah,
but...
it's going on 5. This is going to be a shorter one. I'm saying shorter one than normal, but yeah, it's already going on 2 hours.
Yeah.
They usually go to about 6 or 6:30, so
we're doing pretty good on time.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Beats, see you later.
Let's talk about that Slave One extraction, man. That was sick. So they call in Slave One. Dude comes banking around the corner and comes in for the hot pickup after they shot all the guys with the cannons on the roof. And I thought that was one of the coolest shots, and I want to go back and watch it again. They really put an emphasis on this, and I love that they show the interior of Slave One. Because the thing about Slave One is everybody has just assumed that the seats in Slave One were always like reclined like Boba Fett's, but we find out that actually inside of Slave One, this is kind of like one of those incredible cross sections things, Mike. I thought it was kind of cool. Like you're gonna see this like incredible cross section in like a Mandalorian book down the line or something, I imagine.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And you find out that those like seats that just face, when you go to get in, the Boba Fett and Jango sat in, they're the only two seats that are like that. And the ones in the back, you actually sit in normally. And then when Slave One takes off, it's got like a gyro inside. So no matter where they're sitting, they're always facing up and down. So I love that they kind of show that like mechanics aspects inside the Slave One. Because that's something we've never seen before. And
I was checking out.
He does the hot pickup. There's that really sexy shot where Boba Fett comes into land. So Boba Fett's coming forward. His view is forward, and he transitions to that vertical. And I love they do this cut shot to Boba inside the cockpit, and you literally see the camera angle tilt as it's coming down, like back to that him facing straight up in the air. That was kind of cool.
I was just looking to see. I didn't get this book, which is surprising. Star Wars Complete Vehicles New Edition. I will get it.
I've seen that. That's an expensive book now, but yeah.
It's $35.
Well, I must be thinking of another edition or something from another book or another DK or something.
Like I was gonna get the Star Wars Collecting a Galaxy, the Art of Sideshow Collectibles. Yeah. And I was like, I don't collect
Sideshow.
But I collect books, so
you collect books.
Yeah. But I put it on my wish list. But now it was like $50 or $60 when it came out. A few months ago. Now it's $25.
There's one book I'm looking for, which I will probably never find in my life. There's you remember the Star Wars Uprising mobile game that came out a few years back?
No.
It was it was developed by this mobile game developer, and it basically took place right at the end of Return of the Jedi and filled in the gap of what happens leading up to the Battle of Jakku. And it's like a small mobile game which talks about all the power struggles between the Empire, the normal people, and all this stuff. And there's like this Imperial governor guy and his second in command, and they basically take over the region of space around Bespin, where Lando is. And they literally tie that story directly into the Aftermath novels. So it's a canon mobile game, which does not exist anymore. I don't think you can download it anymore. You might be able to. I'll look into it. But they released an Art of book for that game. And from what I can tell, the only people who got copies were the game developers. So if you're watching this and you want one of us to purchase your book, like, yeah, I don't really want that book anymore. Like, hit one of us up, because like that's a really rare book.
We know who to talk to, and they can put their ear to the ground. They're the ones that found me the fucking Dressing the Galaxy.
Who was that? Holochronicles?
Yeah. They hit me up. They're like, hey, are you looking for this book? Or do you have this book? And I was like, no. And they're like,
looking at you, Josh and Andy. If you can find me that book, I will pay top dollar.
And they're like, hey, there's somebody selling it, and I think they're selling it for a good price. We don't know how much, though. And I was like, okay. And you find the book used from $500 to $1,000. New from about $750 on up. And I got it for a fraction of that. I mean,
yeah, you got it for steal.
Yeah, I got it for $100. The person that was selling it to me, I was like, do you know how much this book is worth? Make sure you know how much this book is worth before you sell it to me, because I don't want to rip you off. And they were like, no, I don't want it anymore. I want it to have a good home. And I was like, sold.
It's like, I warned you.
Yep. Like, they
probably went on eBay the next day and they went, damn.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The binding's messed up. And that's
So yeah, 100's not a terrible.
and that's the thing. Like if you're, I mean, there's two kind of collectors. There's collectors that just want to collect and they don't give a shit. They'll cut your fucking throat just to get a good deal or whatever on it. And there's other collectors that are like, hey, we're part of a community, and sometimes we just give people gifts and be like, oh, I have this extra one and give it away, or this or that, or right now, I'm sitting on a bunch of Funko Pops that if I would have sold them 6 months ago, I could have got $50-$60 for them each when they came out. But now I'm sitting there and it's like, oh, okay, now I have these things, and now maybe I can get $30 for it, or maybe they'll make good gifts for friends, or things like that, or like the what am I looking at right now? The Vader, the concept art Vader.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I'll go and sell those, and I was like, I can probably get about $40 for them now, and now they're releasing them again, so I won't get shit for them. But that's not why I have them. I got them because I had the opportunity to get extra ones, and I got them for friends that collect. And I think I got, I don't know, was it the Revan? The Revan when the Revan came out, I think I got like 6 of them or 8 of them, and I only have 2 or 3 of them left.
Holy cow, Mike!
Well, because I had
a lot of people love Revan.
Well, I got rid of them at I didn't charge people extra money for them, or
that's pretty nice of you, man.
Or I paid $15 for them. I charged $25, and that was with shipping.
Shipping included always.
So shipping's included, so it cost me $5 to $8 depending on who they were. Yeah, so I made $5 on it for I still got to buy
time and effort.
Yeah, I still got to and then it's just stupid shit that actually
adds
up.
2-3 minutes to box it up and stick a label on it.
Tickle it, spot it. What?
Yes, we're gonna tickle our Funko boxes. That sounds dirty. So yeah, we got the sick Boba Fett Slave One pickup. You have a Boba Fett figure right there handy?
What do you mean, like Boba Fett like this, or?
Yeah. I want you to use that.
I mean,
figure.
this is a Mandalorian, not
okay.
Boba Fett,
We'll use the Mandalorian figure. Show me your best Boba Fett in Slave One pickup. There you go, man.
I don't know what you're talking.
There you go.
Why is he upside down here? What's going on,
everybody,
guys?
get in.
Oh shit, we're in trouble.
Which the moment I saw I saw him go straight up. The moment I saw those 2 fighters chasing after him, I went, "No way, we are not about to get that." And then I saw the door open. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're getting that." And I had the biggest shit-eating grin on my face. I wish I was on stream with you, Mike. You would have seen the dumbest grin on my face. The moment I saw that thing drop out, I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Yeah, I let out a little squeal on that one.
I can't wait to see the guys over at Beyond the Blast Doors. If Scotty stayed up for this episode tonight, he's gonna lose it. Oh my gosh.
Scotty should just record himself all the time.
Yeah, if you guys out there have not seen it today, a bunch of the guys over at Beyond the Blast Doors just did their reaction to all the announcements from the Disney Investors thing today. Or sorry, it's technically yesterday now. Basically, Scotty, for 4 minutes of their video, was just like going nuts, just absolutely loving every announcement they dropped. And it's really funny. So go check it out over there and check out that video. Or you can go on my Twitter. I did post it up there for you guys to watch, and I tagged him in it as well. So yeah, we got the seismic charge back there, Mike. It was good to hear everyone's favorite sound in Star Wars again. Even if it was just for 2 seconds. And I love that we finally get to see what it does in atmosphere. Because last time we saw it, it was in space. So like the charge just kind of like that force just kind of goes on for a while. Whereas now when you see it in atmosphere, it only goes so far. It's got like that in atmosphere sort of like friction going on with it. So I did notice there's a difference. Like the charge still goes off, but it has like slightly different properties.
I'm sorry, I'm multitasking now, and
I'm talking like science stuff,
Oh, I'm
All that
listening.
stuff that's not supposed to apply in Star Wars, but somehow still shows.
I mean,
still
but it
finds
does
its way
apply.
into Star Wars
It does.
occasionally.
It does apply in Star Wars, but you have to understand it's a different world. Things happen
It
differently
is.
there.
So if somebody says like, "Oh, that's not supposed to happen in Star Wars," it's like, no. Sometimes things can't happen in Star Wars. It's just got to get explained in a weird way.
But all right, let's see.
I'm trying to
Yes,
remember what's the name of this planet. Is it Modoc?
Duck this. I don't know, man.
I forget.
Right.
It starts with an M. Dale can tell me because he's probably watched this thing 2.5 times already by now. By the time we get done with this, but yeah. So this was a cool planet. I think it was a pretty quick little story. That was it was fun. We got a lot of nice little nuggets and things to tie things in. Quick little mention: those uniforms they were wearing inside the transport are based off those Imperial tank commanders we saw in Rogue One. They helped command the tank crews, and we saw them again in Rebels. And so it's good to see them back again. Those uniforms, but now it's for the transport drivers. So they repurposed some armor and slightly repainted it, but it's got a new concept.
What do So like this is one of the first things I saw when we got Boba Fett. I was like, okay, we're getting a Boba Fett, either Funko or Black Series or both.
Dude, we're gonna have like at least 2 or 3 different versions of Boba Fett just from these 2 episodes alone.
Are we gonna get a? Oh, that's what I was saying. I don't know if I finished my.
I didn't think about that. We're gonna get a Cobb Vanth. When he take off the Boba Fett helmet, he's gonna have his signature hair underneath.
What if they did it as a 2-pack and you got?
Dude.
You have the old armor, you have the old armor and the new armor, and the old armor is Cobb Vanth and the new armor is Boba Fett.
Oh, no. You got to do a 3-pack. You're going to have Django, which they already have him with that bounty hunter set, so they could just do that as a repack. So you'd have your Django fig. Oh, no. 4-pack, Mike. 4-pack.
Bam.
So yeah, you get that Django fig. He'll be figure number 1. Then you get that other 6-inch Boba Fett from, I think it was Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
I just want to say I haven't pulled this out in a while.
You get that one. So you get that.
No,
Boba
this
Fett.
is the color on this is freaking amazing though.
The Mithril. Wow,
I really
he
like
was
that.
actually really painted well.
Yeah, I really like that. I just
They managed to
just
match
right here,
the blue. Like the blue, the tone of the blue is exactly like the Mithril in the show.
I just found a pair of socks.
Because if that blue was off just a little bit, you would be able to tell and go, this is not right.
Why do I have? Oh, I know why. I don't feel like pulling that out now.
So yeah, 4-pack, Mike. You get like Empire Strikes Back, Boba Fett 6 inches, your second. That'd be another repack. And then you get your Cobb Vanth.
I'm digging.
Get that Cobb Vanth fig, that sexy, minty fresh.
Just because I had
as my boys over at BSR would say. So you get the 3rd Cobb Vanth fig. Oh, we got a Hondo and a DJ Rex.
I already showed these a while ago.
This man's been shopping at Target.
Nope.
Was that direct from the park?
Yep.
Nice. The only reason I say Target is because both those figs you can find at Galaxy's Edge Outpost at every Target.
Oh, hey, can you find the Holiday Trooper for me?
If I go to Target anytime soon.
Oh no,
sure.
Target at your store.
We are out at my store.
It keeps getting pushed back.
I have so many local collectors here. Well, just enough local collectors here, and we hardly get any stock at our Walmarts here. So anytime it's like on the shelf, if you don't get it in the first like 12 to 24 hours, you are out of luck.
I messaged you like 12 times for it, and that's when it was supposed to come on like January, or now it's pushed back to like the middle of January.
You're not talking about the one I got, right? This is a different Trooper.
There's 5 different ones. I have 4 of them, but what I'm waiting for is from Walmart, and it keeps getting pushed back. And now it's the middle of January. But like, if
it wasn't the one I already got from Walmart.
I don't know. Was it? Oh, there's only one from Walmart.
Well, I already have it.
Well, I need it.
Let me stick it in my computer, and I'll make a copy.
Like this guy right here.
That's the set I actually wanted my buddy to pick up for me, and the only one I actually want is the do I have Captain or Commander Pyre? I think I have Commander Pyre.
If they did a 4-pack like this,
they made Could you imagine if they did a 4-pack of all the Imperial and different guards? Remember that?
is it from Galaxy's Edge?
No, it was actually an old pack. They did all 4 of the guards. There was like the Coruscant Royal Guard. There was.
Oh yeah. I don't have that.
Yeah. It's all the different guards.
I think that was one of the ones I was like, oh, that looks nice. And I saw the price, and I was like, it's weird, like how your mind thinks psychologically, where it's like these ones from Disneyland. I'm like, okay, I'll pay
up the price on everything, and you're like, ooh, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
But as soon as you see it somewhere else, like at a Target or a Walmart, if on their website, as soon as you see the price tag on it, you're like, no, not gonna do it.
Well, I got the whatever it was, the 3 or 4 exclusives shipped to me along with those Funko Pops. I need to get an updated list for when they reopen. Are they open in Florida right now? I don't know.
Yeah, the Florida park is still open, but I don't know with the recent COVID restrictions that just got put on in states like the last week or two. The parks may be shutting down again. I guess it's a wait and see game. But I imagine if anything, the parks are going to start restricting a little bit more now that the COVID numbers have gone up again. But I know that the California park has been closed forever.
I might have to wait until I might have to find out what new ones we have.
You probably can't order any of that on what is it, Shop Disney or Disney Store?
I don't know. I have an inside source that goes to there, and just I was like, I want these 4 things and these things, and they were like, okay, that's how much it is. I was like, PayPal, send it to me.
Is your inside source Tatooine Sons?
I can't give away my sources.
I know David and his boys live down there in Florida now. So
and I was like, hey man,
I see you.
well that's so well they sent me this too.
It's David from Tatooine Sons. He's your source.
They're
all about the porgs, man.
Yeah, I had one. So they post a question on Twitter, and
okay.
I answered it, and I won for like the best answer of their question. I didn't even know that I had won it, so they sent that to me. I think did that come with that, or was that separate? I don't remember. But I asked him. I was like, hey, it was around the same time, and I was like, hey, can I like say that you sent this to me? And they were like, sure. And I was like, and then like the same thing with the ones from Disney. I asked them, hey, can you send it? Is it all right if I? Why is this so loud? Oh, I was like, is it all right? I was like, I don't want people blowing up. He's like, people have been asking us forever. He's like, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, no one asked him for anything. All right, he's my supplier.
Yeah, nobody asked him for anything. He's got enough.
Yeah, he's got me to deal with. All right, let's get back to this chat so we can end up.
All right, so we got everybody out of here. The seismic charge blows up. We see Kara and Fennec. They look up in the sky. They look impressed, like, good job. Then they land Slave One, and we have our discussion scene where they decide that Mayfeld is a dead man. This man is the Undertaker, Mike.
Dead man walking.
And I love how they play it off just like we're not going to talk to you. You're dead now. Which like reminds me of have you ever played like paintball or airsoft, Mike? Where like the rule is like once you're shot and you're out, like there's like dead man walking. It's like you just pretend like they're not there.
Yeah, I really think that's what's gonna happen.
So I love how they kind of like let him go off. But now like there's been like I love like they had a lot of dialogue between like him and Kara, and then there was like these weird awkward glances between him and Fennec. I'm thinking he and Fennec have some history, bounty hunter wise. They kind of hinted at that a little bit in this episode. They don't talk to each other much, but there's definitely something going on between those two in their past. Maybe they had a fling at some point, Mike. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah,
Anything's
they
possible.
definitely got. She's got beef with him because she gives him the evil eyes a few times. Maybe that's Fennec's way of just saying she's got her eye on him too. That's also a possibility.
I mean, there could definitely be a tie-in. You never know.
Yep.
And
so they let him go. We seem to think after our discussion today that maybe he will be back, not this season, but as a good guy at some point down the line. He's now, I would say, after this mission, he's a trusted member of the team. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
yeah, I could go for that.
You think if like Mando called him up and was like, "Hey, you want another mission?" You think he'd be willing to pitch in if he was getting paid?
Yeah, I think if at any point in time they need Mayfield to come back, that Mayfield's going to come back. He's trustworthy. You know, they've bonded. He's kind of done the right thing.
I felt like they did a good job, like leaving off his character at this point too. So
grind. I'm sorry, I'm getting dropped on right now.
No, you're fine.
I'm getting a lot of holiday cheer coming my way for Mr. Grind Creation. The king of Livet is dropping some holiday cheer on me.
You're killing it.
Boom! I'm going to let you people know because you don't even know what this is right now. But on Livet, I just got a snowman and a reindeer and Santa's sleigh and a snowball and a snowman and Santa's sleigh. Boom, boom, boom! Shake the room.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. I'm crushing it right now.
But yeah, I think they left Bill Burr's character up so that even if, his character, for whatever reason, say, God forbid something happens to Bill Burr or whatever, they left Bill Burr's character in a pretty good place. So even if he decides maybe not, like, I don't know, maybe Star Wars isn't for me, like, say he didn't sign a contract past season 2, which I'm almost certain they did. He's coming back, I'm almost certain. But they left him in a good place in this episode where if he just wanted to retire Mayfeld and that was the end of that character for Mandalorian, I think they could still be like, yeah, he had his run. He's good. But I doubt it. That's like a 1% chance of happening, if even that, Mike. I think he's pretty much 99% coming back.
He'll be back some other season, I think. I don't think they need him this season. He'll be back.
I don't even think they need him technically for season 3. They could skip a season and bring him back in 4.
I don't know what Dell's doing here.
He's talking about retconning and coning.
Some of the Raiders have horn-like things on their heads, like Liku. Some don't. They could be a lot of different species.
Tails can be male and female, like the Zabrak or Zabrak.
Yeah. Patrick knows all about the difference in male and females. I don't even know what that means. I just made it sound dirty.
Have you ever been to Dathomir, Mike?
You've never known the love of Dathomirian until you snuggle in their lap. I messed with that line completely. But
we had a weird discussion a few weeks ago. I want to say it was on Septic Tank, talking about like if we were to hook up with a Star Wars character, who would it be? And I remember I picked Marin from Jedi Fallen Order. So you talking about like snuggling up with a Night Sister? I'm just kind of like, yeah.
I must not have been there for that one.
I think you might have walked away, or you were doing something with Livet.
I love how I was talking to somebody at work. I was like, dude, I love how now it's actually become.
It was the stream that Kylo hosted. That's what it was.
Well, he hosted
the comments.
He hosted the last 2. But the one he really hosted. The one he hosted because I was at work. The other one, I had a Livet thing to do.
I call that his Jennifer Aniston stream because he had a blonde wig
on for
about 75% of the episode.
He was dressed in drag for that Septic Tank. Oh, dude, I got another snowball, another reindeer, another snowman.
That was the night you got kidnapped, Mike. We don't need to talk about that.
Dude, Grind is dropping on me. Another snowball. I think I'm going to decorate. I'm going to go to the dollar store tomorrow and get some decorations for this.
For Livet?
For anything, dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, mostly it's for Livet because that's what I'm doing.
You got to put some Pergil up there with your snowflakes.
We got to...
It'll be a happy life day.
We got to do a little decorating. Boom! Grind! Coming in. Shit, bro. Thank you.
If somebody wants to draw me a picture, I want a Pergil with a Santa hat.
Yeah, and you guys that are watching, go download Live It and watch me on Live It because
Mike gets paid.
when I'm not, well, yeah, but besides that, when I'm not on here or other platforms talking about Star Wars, I'm on Live It, and I could be making Death Star waffles. I'm getting the latest Galaxy's Edge cookbook, and I'll be doing a lot of Star Wars cooking on there. So it's going to be a lot of good fun times, and it's all, it's usually Star Wars related or everybody knows I've been playing with this bad boy.
Woo!
I haven't done a lot with the. I did a stream for the new VR game that came out for Star Wars. But I it's one of those things I just put it up for a minute. But who knows? Maybe I'll do a big stream on it. Coming up, but it's just where I had an issue open up door handles. I couldn't figure out how to open up door handles. It took me a half hour to figure out how to open up the door handles. Because that's the thing with VR games. There's no, this is how you play it. This is what you do. It's just kind of figuring it out. And being new to the whole VR thing, I don't know the tricks of the trade and the way that things are supposed to happen or whatever. So it took me a little while. And then I finally just got bored, and I was like, because I couldn't figure out what to do, and I was like, and I just put it down. But maybe I'll throw it on. I have a 3-day weekend coming up. And yes, I did say Death Star waffles. If you look, I posted the pictures of them on Twitter and Facebook and Live It. If you take a look through my pictures, you're going to see the Death Star waffles. I've made them quite a few times. I haven't made those in a while. People love those bad boys. But yeah, I'm going to do some more. I'm going to get that cookbook. I have it on my wish list for Amazon. I also was looking, the reason I said something, because I was looking at my Amazon wish list, and I put a camera on there that was like an all-in-one camera, and it was like $450 or $500 for a DSL camera or whatever the hell, not DSL, DSHL or whatever the hell they're called. I don't freaking know. Grind coming in clutch, dude. Grind, thank you so much, man. I wish I was just talking to you right now, but I'm talking to the entire world. Grind, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm weird, I know. It's okay. I'm just like, I was like, oh shit, I should just buy it. And then I'm like, oh look, the price just went up $5 for Christmas. That's nice. Amazon's raising their prices on a lot of stuff for Christmas. That's nice of them.
Got to make a few extra bucks for the big man upstairs.
Yeah, but maybe I'll get it for Christmas. Maybe I won't. Somebody else is supposed to be told me they were sending me a book off of my wish list as a gift. We'll see if that ever comes. It hasn't come. It should be here by now. But whatever.
I've been getting a lot of books and comics lately.
Definitely for the new year. I've been getting a lot of comics. I gotta go through all of my piles of stuff and get my comics situated to find out. I think I'm missing a few, and they're not Star Wars. They're Kevin Scott's new one that he did, which isn't Star Wars related, and George Mann's new one.
Pick that one up. Yeah, I hear that's a good series.
They're coming out once a month, and I've been getting them. But I think I missed one of the weeks. I just didn't have it pre-ordered or whatever.
Question
and of course,
for you, Mike. Did I get you hooked on Kevin?
No. I was getting the George Mann comics because they were coming out, and then he was like, hey, Kevin Scott's got this coming out, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll check him out. And
the George actually got you hooked up with Kevin.
Yeah, George Mann.
Sweet.
But I still
I love how like everybody has their different like entryway to like Kevin Scott stuff now. Like for a lot of people, it was for most people, it's actually Dooku Jedi Lost. They read that and they were like, oh my gosh, I got to get more Kevin. For a lot of people before that, it was the IDW Adventures in Wild Space stuff. They love all, those comics and issues he did. And anytime you see Jackson the Green Rabbit or he used to be in Star Wars Legends, but now he's canon again. Any of those like Jackson stories, that is 100% Kevin Scott. That's like, how like Ahsoka is like Dave Filoni's baby.
Yep.
Like Jackson is like Kevin Scott's baby. So anytime like you see any sort of Jackson story, Kevin's got his fingers in it in some way. And I don't know if you saw, he did write a short story for the latest From a Certain Point of View, and he found a way to get Jackson tied to Empire Strikes Back. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's, it's and that's why it's great.
Yeah, he does these really fun stories that are just like way out there, but you love them. And then I got hooked on him from the not the Star Wars Adventures IDW comics, but his Adventures in Wild Space books, which are a kid series. And I use the term kid book series very lightly because the amount of detail that Kevin and Tom Huddleston put into that series is unbelievable.
I really need to start pounding some of the books because I need to get through before whatever it is, January 5th rolls out. So we got about 3 weeks or so.
Dale finally watched the Scotty video.
Yeah, I was getting to that before I was so rudely interrupted by your chuckles.
Sorry.
Damn it, Patrick! You're fired. But you can come back again.
All right, bye, guys.
No, don't leave me! Don't leave me! No! What am I going to do? Yeah, I got to get through Thrawn. I think I still have... I'm like halfway through it right now. And then I need to do From a Certain Point of View. And then I have a couple other books that don't need to be done now, but I want to get them finished.
I've shown you my stack. I've just got to like sit down and consistently read 100% of my days off.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Dale, of course. Yeah, but you know what? It wouldn't be Scott if he used the mute button on the mic.
This is the same man who freaked out at Celebration, and so and when you saw him freaking out today, that is like 100% authentic Scott.
This is the man that has 3 million views on his video of him crying
for Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
We love Scotty though. Scotty's a gem in the
Scotty's amazing. I love Scotty. All of his other videos have a couple hundred views, and this one, boom, 3 million because he's just crying, and people want to make fun of him for it. Dude, whatever, man. He's happy. He's passionate.
He's happy, and he couldn't care about your negative comments one bit. He's the coolest dude ever.
No, he does care about the negative comments because that's another point and raises them on the algorithm. So he gets more views there. So go ahead, give me a thumbs down, give me whatever you need to do, and that's just kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, him and Jerry are killing it over there at Bombad Cast. So keep it up, guys.
How's the show tonight? Did you love it? Maybe you're talking about this show. Yeah, I think it's freaking amazing, dude. All right, that's why everybody should be here. We're the best kept secret for no one. Everybody, they just can't handle the craziness sometimes.
Can't wait for the finale. Yeah, we can't wait. This is crazy, and Mike and I have talked about this. So pretty much ever since the Ahsoka episode dropped, we had no idea what was coming last week, this week, or what's coming next week. They've really kept everything shut up.
Girl Kylo's here.
Oh my gosh, Christina Flores, get your booty in here. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we're way behind in the comments, so I don't know if.
Okay. Good to see you again, Christina. Hopefully, we'll chat with you on Saturday on Septic Tank.
Somebody just said they got 3 million views for pooping and throwing it at the camera. That would not surprise me.
That sounds like a baboon video.
But that would not surprise me on YouTube. I mean, whatever. Dale, this
comment again. Too far behind. Keep rolling the comments there.
We'll get to him eventually.
Yeah, I think he's going to become part of the crew in some sort of sense. Yeah. Oh, good. Now he's distracted. Yeah, that's Mike, all right. He's distracted. I loved it. Sending stuff to Mike. Oh, I guess because she's sending you stuff all the time.
She sent me a few gifts.
Yeah, and then
more than a few.
Stuff too.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Save that for the septic tank.
I don't even know what's going on.
Was that talking about your poo joke?
No, that was from 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. We'll get there eventually.
I'm just going to skip over these two. Dale doesn't want to... the Live It app's too big for his computer. Christina's doing it on the phone. Blow through the comments, say hi to Christina. We did it already, okay? He's cutting it short, but goes on for hours. Where is that comment? I gotta find it. Oh wait, no. He's cutting it short, but he goes on for an hour on tangent.
That's every stream with Mike.
Yeah.
He's always like, all right, we're about to end it, and then we go another 30, 45 minutes.
I don't know if what we're all going to show up for, but
We showed up, Christina. We said hi.
yeah, we got there. It was
We
just those.
made it.
It was just those last couple. You know, we got stuck for a minute or two.
Gotta
but
talk
then
about the end of the episode before we finish. We haven't got there yet.
all right, end of the episode.
We see Gideon's light cruiser again. That beautiful Arquitens class cruiser.
Yes,
And-
it looks very phallic.
It depends on which direction it's heading. So I noticed.
Well, if it's like
noticed
tea,
what
if
was
it's
it
like teabagging ya. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong show.
Was it last week or the week before? The ship was going away from us. This week it was like heading towards us, kind of like that one, the Star Destroyer from TFA in that one shot. You know what I mean? So it had that sort of like coming at you sort of vibe. But I see what Mike's going with the whole phallic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
We'll save that for Septic Tank.
Grind is now officially part of
TooMedToo.
yeah, because we're talking about him throwing poop like a baboon.
Yeah.
Grind. So if you guys that don't know who aren't on Live It, which you should be, Grind is the king of Live It, and he is basically Brock Lesnar.
He's the Brock Lesnar of Live It.
No, like he's Brock Lesnar. Like if I told you, if you weren't a big wrestling fan and didn't watch wrestling all the time, and I told you, and like you just saw Brock Lesnar really quickly, and I said this is Brock Lesnar, you would believe that it was Brock Lesnar. They look alike. They're the same size.
Wow.
You know, I don't know if so Grind giving me some Santa sleighs. Yeah. But all right,
Yeah,
so
we get this little message from our buddy
Din Djarin comes in, and he's very nice and like, hey, this is what's going on.
Hey, buddy, you have something of mine.
And it's like a warning that you give, you know, just so you know, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna kill you. But before I do that, I'm gonna slit you from your genitals to your throat, and then throw you out the window, and you can watch your guts fly out. And then that won't kill you at first. You'll still be alive for a minute or two. So you sure still want to do this, buddy? Because I'm not bluffing. And by the way, give me back my baby.
Basically, give me back my baby, and I love the hell out of this child. He doesn't say that like that, but that's pretty much what he says. And this is where I was going to get into a discussion with you, Mike. He kind of basically came out and said, I will do anything to get this child back. And what do we see Den do in this episode that he's not supposed to do, Mike?
Guess who just hopped into my stream?
Live it?
Kylo Ren Flores is in the stream.
What?
Woo!
She's on Live It at the same time.
Yeah, dude.
She's living the best life. She gets 2 camera angles for the price of 1.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, what did Den do in this episode that Den has never really done in all of season 1 and season 2?
Besides taking off his helmet.
It's exactly what I'm going for.
And
he took his helmet off.
And then he says that Gorgu, it doesn't name him Gorgu, just says that
you have what I want. And
yeah.
he says he. He uses the pronoun he.
Yeah, and it means more to me than it will ever mean to you, or more than you'll ever understand. Like, this is his jam, dude. This is his kid.
And you know how we were just talking about the facial scan? if he tries to use that against him and the Children of the Watch decide to turn on him, I think you're gonna see Din. Literally, he cares more about this child than his own people.
Yep.
I think this could be a make or break moment for him.
He was willing to go against everything he stands for to
Just for this
save.
kid.
Yeah, he's gone against basically. It'd be like if you denounced your religion to save your child.
In a way, he kind of denounced the bounty hunting guild too, if you remember correctly from season
Yep.
1. He kind of turned on them to go save the kid. He was just going to collect his cash and go about his way, and then he decided, nah, I don't like what they're doing with him. I got to go save him. So he's having a big change of heart. He's a very conflicted character, and in a way, he kind of has like that sort of like Kylo Ren confliction, which is kind of nice to see again. But in somebody who's not a Force sensitive. Well, technically, we don't know if he's Force sensitive. He could be like Finn, and just the Force decided to show up later.
Yeah, I mean it's
Doubtful, but it's always a possibility.
Or
it could explain why he and Grogu have such a close connection with each other.
And also the thing I was thinking about the other day too, when I was listening to, I read with my ears. Everybody knows that. I can't concentrate reading a book. It takes me way too long. It's faster for me to have someone read the book to me professionally. It sounds like a hooker I'm getting. It's better to get a professional to do it to me. It's better to have that, for me than it is to actually sit there and read the book. Plus, I don't have the time to just sit around and read a book or whatever. And we've lost Patrick. He's dead.
Falling asleep over here.
Well, we're almost done, maybe. If I don't go off on a tangent.
We're almost done. Michael goes 30 more minutes.
Yeah. I said we were almost done an hour ago, or maybe
it's
a
all
half
good.
hour ago.
We'll wrap it up. But yeah, we got that warning to get in.
But yeah, what was I saying about Thrawn? Something about the Thrawn novel. I don't know where I was
I'm
going.
not caught up on Thrawn.
I don't know where I was going with it. No, whatever we were talking about something.
I don't know. I was falling asleep over here.
I know. Whatever we were talking, I lost it because then you fell asleep and you ruined my train of thought.
Well, at least I fell asleep after the episode, not before this week.
Yeah. Christina, did you start a new account on Live It? Did you forget how to get in your old one?
So what do you think this is building up to for the finale? That's what I want to know, Mike.
I don't know.
I can't even make a theory, especially after this week. We know Gideon's going to be in the finale. As far as we've been told by Giancarlo Esposito, he supposedly broke 3 or 4 Darksabers in this season. He confirmed it was this season he broke 2 or 3 Darksabers. So this man is he's gonna be fighting somebody with the Darksaber this season.
Breaking the code.
Yeah, I think after this week, Mando is, I think, season finale. Helmet's coming off in a way, kind of for good. He's finally taking it off. I don't think it's gonna be a permanent thing. I think he's still gonna wear it for protective purposes, like the regular Mandalorians do.
Yeah. Oh, 14 tangents ago, I was gonna say, we saw something with whether it was a Black series or something with Din Djarin taking his helmet off, or with his helmet off, and it being if that was real or not. I mean, it was real, I saw it, but whether or not it was
an actual figure, yeah.
Yeah, it could have just been something that somebody did, but I remember seeing it, but I don't remember. And it would make sense because they were here's proof that he takes his helmet off, or that Baby Yoda sees him without his helmet, or Grogu, or whatever you want to call him. So, yeah.
So I think that's about it. I'm not really feeling much other than that. We're just gonna have to wait till next Friday.
Yeah, and I guess next Friday is going to be the episode to end all episodes for the season.
Until next fall or winter. Did they basically confirm today in the or yesterday in the investors call that nothing's really going to come until almost Christmas?
I don't know. I was at work. I didn't listen to the investors. Usually, I listen to the investors call.
I hope we have a date by at least next summer.
But that's a great thing. Whatever it was a year or two ago when they slipped up in the investors call and they not necessarily slipped up, but they gave us some news, and then everybody's listening every quarter to the investors call. But they have to understand there's different investor calls. There's quarterly investor calls and there's yearly investor calls. You want to listen to the yearly investor call.
You don't want to listen to the quarters. I listened to one quarter one time. It was the most boring thing of my life. It's all about money. That's it.
The yearly one is where they tell you what's going on for the year. The quarterly ones.
This is how much we fiscally made or lost.
Yes, and we lost $4 billion with this and that, and
I can't wait to see what the next quarterly looks like when they start talking COVID numbers about how much they lost.
Well, a lot of it was already done with the $4 billion.
That's right, because now that we're going into the holidays, there's a good chance they could actually start gaining money back.
I mean, they are making there's almost 90 million subscribers to Disney Plus right now, and I believe out of those 90, 60 are paid. And the ones that aren't paid are like the ones that got it for, like, I get mine for free. I don't know how much longer I'm going to get mine for free for. Maybe it was just 1 year. I don't know if it's getting renewed for free or not. Not because I'm a Disney shill. I mean, I'm a Disney shill. But because I get mine through Sprint for free.
So I know a lot of the phone companies are doing deals right now to try to get people on Disney Plus.
And
I think bundle phone deals, you get like Disney Plus for a few months or something.
And is Disney Plus price going up on that?
I imagine it's within the next year or two. Going up.
I heard it was going up $8 a month, which I think is kind of
going
steep.
Up to $8 or adding an additional $8.
Adding an additional $8 a month, which I thought was kind of steep to double your price.
Are they really going to go to $14 a month? It better have all the Hulu stuff in there too.
I heard someone say it. I don't know if that's.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's with a bundle. I know it is.
They were $6.99. There is no way. No, that had to be the bundle, more than likely.
All right, Grind. Thank you for all of your Christmas cheer you sent my way. I'm about halfway to a ticket. You people that aren't on Live It don't know what that means. That's your fault. I'm not explaining it to you. Get on Live It, and then you know what you. You know what I mean? Thank you,
that
Grind.
We need to get Mike a golden ticket.
I need a ticket. Yeah. So, the grand prize for this month is rent paid for a year.
Nice.
So up to $2,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Live It. If Mike wins.
Yeah, dude. But I don't have a ticket for it yet. I have to. Yeah, there's other things into it, but yeah, I need to. I'm halfway there though, because of my buddy Grind today. So I need to work on that. I'm halfway there. I got the rest of today, or the rest of Friday, and the rest of Saturday to do it. I have 1 day and 18 hours to do it.
You can do it.
And so basically, what it is, a lot of the things, go and like it's top coins that you get or whatever for the events. This one is you get a certain number of coins, and you automatically get a ticket for the raffle at the end. There's a raffle done, so it makes it a little bit more fair. Because everybody that can qualify for it then has a chance, and there's going to be a couple hundred tickets out there. Somebody might have 20 or 30 of them, but then that's still other people still have a lot too. So all it takes is one. And there's a bunch of other prizes too, iPads and some crazy shit out there. So even it's just that this huge grand prize that it's it's not like you're winning the lottery, but it is kind of life changing not have to pay rent for a year. To have $2,000 a month coming in. That would almost cover my rent. But I live in New York City, so there's people that would probably cover their mortgage and their car payment or whatever. But it's all relative to everything else. But yeah, I guess we'll call this a day. It's a wrap.
Yeah, as Akbar says in the Lego Holiday Special, when Poe opens up his
I still haven't
sweater.
watched. I still haven't watched that yet.
He opens up his gift, and Akbar goes, "It's a wrap."
I'm gonna watch that today. I'm gonna do a watch along, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, just don't play the audio because then they'll get you.
Yep. I didn't. Yeah.
All I will tell you is listen to every sentence because there's a lot of canon deep cuts, and it's like every little canon deep cut you get is just it'll make you laugh. It's so funny.
All right. Well, everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. With that, I say good day. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Always.